Forward. The following contains excerpts from the handwritten diary and transcribed audio recordings found in apartment 7B, last rented by Claire Mercer, age 27. The apartment was found unlocked, all personal items left untouched, except for a small metal box placed deliberately on the center of the dining table. Claire Mercer has been reported missing. This document preserves the recovered material in chronological order, with minimal editorial adjustments. Diary Entry 1. July 2, 2025. Package arrived today. No return address. Even the postman looked confused. "No sender?" he asked. "Just my name, handwritten. I didn't order anything." Inside, a heavy, old-fashioned key. Iron or brass, maybe. Cold to the touch. Ornate, the kind you'd expect in a Victorian novel. No note. Nothing else. Strange. I held it for a moment. It felt warm, like it had been in someone's hand for hours. Now it sits on my desk, next to the lamp. It hasn't moved, but I keep glancing at it. Feels expectant, like it's waiting. Diary Entry 2. July 3, 2025. Last night I heard a sound, a soft tapping, faint, rhythmic. I thought maybe a leak in the kitchen or the heating pipes. But when I walked closer to the source, I realized it was coming from the desk. More precisely, from the key. It wasn't moving, just lying there. But the tapping kept going. Steady. Tap, 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 tap. I stood there for 10 minutes, just listening. Then it stopped. This morning, I tried recreating the sound. Nothing. I'm not crazy. It happened. Tomorrow I'll buy a recorder. I need proof or closure. Diary Entry 3. July 4, 2025. Bought a small voice recorder today. Set it up on the desk next to the key before I went to bed. It happened again. Around 2:13 a.m. The same tapping, soft, distant, but clear. I didn't get up this time. Just lay there and listened. It lasted about 5 minutes. This morning, I played back the recording. The sound is there. More than that, it's patterned. I imported the audio into my laptop. Ran it through a Morse translator just for fun. The taps spell out a word. ANGR. Coincidence? A glitch? Or is someone trying to tell me something? Audio recording, Log 1. Transcription. July 4, 2025, 2:13 a.m. Tap, tap, pause, tap, pause, tap, 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 pause, tap, tap, pause, tap, pause, tap, tap, tap. Interpreted as Morse code. DANGER. End of log. Diary Entry 4. July 5, 2025. Another night. Another message. The key started tapping at exactly 2:09 a.m. Same as before, slow, deliberate, like it's thinking between taps. I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark and listened. When I played it back this morning, I almost dropped the recorder. DONTOPNIT. I hadn't even considered that it was something to open. Until now. But here's the thing. I checked the key more carefully. There's a faint symbol etched into the bow. A spiral or maybe a serpent eating its tail. I swear it wasn't there before. Or maybe I just never looked closely. I tried not to touch it today. I kept it on the desk like before. Still, I feel like it watches me. And I know that another message is coming tonight. Audio log 2. Transcription. July 5, 2025, 2:09 a.m. Tap, tap, pause, D. Tap, pause. Oh, tap, tap, pause, N. Tap, pause, E. Pause, tap, pause. Oh, tap, tap, pause, P. Tap, pause, E. Tap, tap, pause, N. Pause, tap, pause. I. Tap, pause, E. Morse translation. Don't open it. Diary Entry 5. July 6, 2025. I didn't go outside today. The key started tapping before midnight this time. Earlier than usual. I was brushing my teeth, and I heard it. Faint, like fingertips on glass. I ran out to the living room and hit record. This time, the taps were faster. Urgent. I waited for them to finish before translating. It said, T-H-E-Y-S-E-E-Y-O-U. I don't know who they are. I live alone. I thought I saw someone across the street staring up at my window tonight, but when I looked again, they were gone. I've started locking the bedroom door. It makes no difference. The sound comes through anyway. I'm not sleeping. I just wait. Audio log 3. Transcription. July 6, 2025. 11:52 p.m. Tap, tap, pause, a. Tap, 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 pause, a. Tap, pause, a. Tap, tap, pause, y. Pause, tap, tap, pause, s. Tap, pause, e. Tap, pause, e. Pause, tap, tap, pause, y. Tap, pause, o. Tap, tap, pause, u. Morse translation. They see you. Diary Entry 6. July 7th, 2025. The messages have changed. There's no more don't or danger. Last night, the key tapped out a single word. Slowly. Like it wanted me to hear it clearly, even without translation. Look. I didn't know what to do. I stood there in the dark, holding the recorder. Then I turned, and I swear, just for a second, I saw something move behind the curtains. When I looked, nothing. I didn't go back to bed. I sat by the key. I think I whispered to it. I don't remember what I said. There's something else. This morning, I noticed a mark on my wrist. A faint red circle. Like someone had pressed a hot coin into my skin. It's not painful, but it's perfectly round. Diary Entry 7. July 8th, 2025. It doesn't warn me anymore. At 2:06 a.m., the key began tapping again. No hesitation this time. I knew it would be a command before I even translated it. It said, obey. Then a second word, bring. What am I supposed to bring? To who? I haven't left the apartment in 3 days. I don't eat much. I can't focus on anything except the key. The tapping is the only sound that feels real. I think it's trying to train me. Audio log for transcription. July 8th, 2025, 2:06 a.m. Tap, 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 pause, O. Tap, tap, pause, B. Tap, pause, E. Tap, tap, pause, Y. Pause, tap, tap, pause, B. Tap, tap, pause, R. Tap, pause, I. Tap, pause, and tap, pause, V. Morse translation. Obey, bring. Diary Entry 8. July 9th, 2025. It gave me a name last night. Holloway. I recognized it immediately. It's an old tube station. Shut down years ago. I've walked past it before. Gated. Forgotten. You'd miss it if you blinked. Why there? I didn't sleep again. Just stared at the recorder, waiting for another word. Nothing else came, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. When I closed my eyes, I saw a corridor, underground, long curved walls tiled in white. The key was floating in the air ahead of me, pulsed every time I took a step. And then I woke up, sweating, heart racing, but I had no memory of lying down. I think it wants me to go there. Audio log 5. Transcription. July 9th, 2025, 1:57 a.m. Tap, 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 pause, A. Tap, pause, O. Tap, 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 pause, L. Tap, tap, pause, L. Tap, pause. O. Tap, pause. W. Tap, pause. Tap, pause. Y. Morse translation. Holloway, Diary Entry 9, July 10th, 2025. I went. Not inside, not yet. But I stood across the street from Holloway Station. The iron gate was chained, but the lock was rusted. I swear, the key in my pocket got heavier as I approached, like it was pulling downward. The street was empty. No cars, no people. But I heard something below, a faint echo, like someone walking on tile. I didn't stay long. Back home, I found the key on the desk again. I'd left it in my bag. I'm sure of it. It knows I'm hesitating, and it doesn't like hesitation. Tonight, I'll listen again. If it says go, I think I will. Diary Entry 10, July 11th, 2025. Said it. Not go, not bring, not another place or threat. One word. Unlock. Tapped it slowly, deliberately. Each pause between letters was longer than usual, as if to make sure I understood. The word burned in my head all night. I couldn't stop picturing it. A rusted door in a dark tunnel. A lock that has waited centuries for one key. Couldn't breathe. I wanted to go, but I didn't. I stayed here. I sat beside the key and whispered, "What do you want me to unlock?" It didn't answer, but I think I already know. It's not a door. It's me. Audio log 6. Transcription. July 11th, 2025, 2:03 a.m. Tap, tap, pause, U. Tap, tap, pause, N. Tap, 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 pause, L. Tap, pause, O. Tap, tap, pause, Z. Tap, tap, pause, K. Morse translation. Unlock. Diary Entry 11, July 12th, 2025. The key no longer waits for nightfall. Tapped at noon today. 5 rapid knocks like it was impatient. I opened the wardrobe, found my coat, and slipped the key into my hand. Felt warmer than usual, almost feverish. My reflection in the mirror looked off. Eyes darker. Lips parted like I was about to speak, but hadn't decided what to say. And for a moment, I swear, the reflection moved before I did. I'm going tonight, not because it told me to, because I need to understand, to see, to unlock. Diary Entry 12, July 13th, 2025. I waited until just past 1 a.m. The streets were empty. The city felt paused. I brought a flashlight, my recorder, the key, and nothing else. The gate at Holloway Station was easier to open than it should have been. The lock fell apart when I touched it with the key. I didn't even need to turn it. It just came undone. The air inside the station was warm and stale. Everything smelled of dust, rust, and something older. I walked down the stairs 1 level, 2. Then I found a wall. Where the tracks used to be, there's only concrete now. Except, on the far left, a door, tall, arched, covered in symbols I've never seen before, but which felt familiar. And in the center, a lock. The keyhole looked exactly like the one I've seen in my dreams. I didn't open it. Not yet. I wanted to record the sound one last time. The key was already tapping. Audio log 7. Final recording. Transcription. July 13th, 2025, 2:14 a.m. Found inside the abandoned recorder case next to the sealed door. Tap, 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 pause. O. Tap, pause. B. Tap, 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 pause. E. Pause. Tap, tap, pause. Tap, 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 pause. E. Morse translation. Open me. Diary. Entry 13. Fragment. Undated. Last page torn. It didn't creak. It didn't groan. It opened like it was always meant to, for me. Inside is not a room. Something else. It sees me. It knows me. It's been waiting for. Page torn out. Postscript. All materials recovered from Holloway Station on August 4, 2025. Claire Mercer remains missing. The door referenced in her journal exists, though it has no lock, no hinges, and no apparent way to open. Her recorder was found playing constant static, even with no batteries. The key was never found.